I'm gonna try this again. I haven't done a vlog since last November. Last time I was down here in Florida. I did one the day I got back to North Dakota, but I've been down in Florida for almost a month. Well, for 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago today, I was in Bismarck and I spent 12 and a half hours at the airport on Saturday, February 24th, and now I am driving to Orlando and getting on a plane tomorrow morning at 5:45 in the morning. I'm going to be in Bismarck, I pray, at 10. But I wanted to do a video since, of course, it's flip-flops and snowshoes. I was in North Dakota, like I said, last month, and I've spent the entire month of March in Florida. I started in Melbourne, and then I came over to Punta Gorda, where my sister is, and I learned something about a month ago, or a little more than that, but I want to share it, and I thought this would be the perfect time to do it because I'm in a rental car. And I don't know how many of you have ever had a problem where you're in a rental car and you're like, oh, I wonder what side of the car the gas tank, hinges where you put the gas in. And I pull in and it's on the wrong side. And I won't tell why, but I found out by the time my son was buying a car. A guy was in the car with me and he said, well, didn't you know that there's a little arrow on the gas gauge? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. So I don't know if this is appropriate for flip-flops and snowshoes, but because I'm in a car and I am heading back to the snow, and it's blizzard, there's a blizzard in North Dakota. Charlie's there, and actually the rec center in Williston, North Dakota closed today on March 23rd. It closed because of snow. And it was a beautiful week, beautiful month. It's not been super hot. It's been in the 70s, and even it was even 60s a bit, but mostly 70s. So I'm going to turn this around if I can, or actually I don't think I can. So back to why I'm doing this. If you rent a car and you always wonder when you pull in, what side of the car is the gas nozzle hole for it? And I always just look around, you can't really see on either side. And like I said, I was with this guy, a car salesman out of Arlington Heights Ford. Hey, shout out to Arlington Heights Ford. Great guy. I think his name was George. Great guy. But back to that. So he said to me, hey, just look at the gas gauge and you will see an arrow. So I'm going to turn my... speaking of flip-flops, I'm sitting in a parking lot. I probably should have done this at the beach, but I didn't think about it. So I'm going to point the car. I'm not even able to see it, but if you look right here, you can see the little arrow. And I have asked about 20 people, and I think maybe 2, maybe 3 knew. One was my brother-in-law, who is a driver's ed coach, or trainer, so of course that makes sense, but very few people knew that. So if you see the little arrow, that tells you that that's what side the gas tank hinge to put gas in the car. So you don't have to drive around, or you don't have to, back in, or I don't know how you do it. You got a 50-50 shot, right? But now I just find that pretty cool that I've been driving for some 30 some years, and I never knew that. And I've looked every car that I've seen and they have the arrow. So flip-flops and snowshoes.